Faizan Mustafa, the point is that there is always the violence and then there is constantly the rhetoric. And in this case, it's the language of forcible conversions, unproven claims now being brought into law in state after state. Some states already have it. Explain to us, firstly, this whole idea about conversion, forcible conversion. What sort of legal basis are these arguments being made on? And is it worrying that they're in a way being used to almost, if not justify, but give a kind of legal cover to these vigilante actions?
Vasu, facts have become irrelevant as we live in the post-truth era. Therefore, this demographic imbalance, you keep saying, we keep showing data, but the hardcore people don't believe it. And the propaganda is convincing people that majority is under threat from minority. Now, report after report on freedom of religion in India, we are scoring very low marks. We are now called a country of concern. We are in the group of some of the regressive Islamic countries because of these actions against the minorities. Now, what is really happening on conversion, that we had an earlier law which was brought in by a feudal party, Swatantrata Party in Madhya Pradesh and in Orissa, and that law was upheld by the Supreme Court in Stanley Law's case. And the Supreme Court said, your freedom of religion does not include right to convert. Right. Even though in the Constituent Assembly word propagation was inserted in Article 25 on the insistence of the Christian members, right, assuring them that you will have a right to convert. All international human rights instruments, be it ICCPR or UDHR, specifically include right to conversion. Okay. Now here the question is not of Article 25. Here the question is of Article 21, right to life. And look at what is the fate and the conviction rate of these so-called anti-conversion laws. How many people have really been convicted? In any case, in a liberal society like ours, why should religion, which is a private matter, if I want to convert, I should seek the permission of the district magistrate. State has nothing to do with the freedom of religion of people, which religion they want to follow, which religion they want to discard, which religion they want to adopt. So the real problem is a Supreme Court judgment, which was given in an era when the court was positivist, when the court was adopting a narrower interpretation of fundamental rights. Right. I believe post-Menka Gandhi and post-public interest litigation and judicial activism, there is a need for the court to review its judgment. Okay. But all these laws have been used to harass Christians because ultimately nobody is convicted.